There we go. We're live. Yay!
Oh, we're live?
Yes,
Sweet.
Yes, we're totally live. Hey, folks, what's going on? This is Matt from Heroic Tactics. With me is Luke.
Yeah, this is Luke. I used to hang out with Matt.
What?
Now,
You still hang out? We're hanging out right now.
oh yeah, Google Hang. Well, I used to actually get to play a lot more HeroClix, but now I'm stuck in Houston. Yay, Houston.
Hey, Houston ain't that bad. They have a Chachos now, so that's totally cool. I guess they had a Chachos for a while, but Chachos is amazing.
It's not the fact that it's bad. It's just that everywhere is just so damn far. Like I have to drive at minimum 30 minutes just to go play HeroClix, and it just makes me not want to do it. All right, Matt. So what's the topic of today's hangout?
So today, hopefully the first of many hangouts, we just want to talk about teams that we had considered to play in Rocktober. Yeah, that's coming up soon. We're both going. I do not have enough points to play, so my ideas are strictly just theoretical. But Luke gets to play.
Yeah.
Semifinals?
Yeah, semifinals. I was able to get some points through unspeakable means. Yeah, unbartering. I don't know, Matt. You might be able to get into the first round. We probably get you 20 points, rock and roll.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to play all those seals that first night and see if I can get lucky. But anyway, we just want to talk about teams that we had thought about, and they're still good teams. We just discarded them for. I discarded mine because I just didn't want to lug around a lot of stuff. I'm flying there. You're flying there too, but
yeah, I'm flying there too.
Yeah. So that influence.
Go on.
I know if that influenced your decision. You're like, I don't want to haul around all this stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're the collector. You have all the stuff. I'm the borrower, so I'm always going, hey, can I borrow this? Oh, you want to see my surprise guess? Go then. Come here.
Yeah.
Oh, my surprise guess.
Is that your puppy dog?
That's my puppy dog.
Oh, look at the puppy dog.
Yeah, this is increasing views. This is making your video so much better.
Oh yeah, dude, you can't go wrong with puppy dogs.
All right, so before we get sidetracked, we're talking about HeroClix.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
so what?
Go on.
So this is a team like I kind of been thinking about it for actually, yeah. So with Prime Hawk being a big giant thing, and then. People were looking at Copycat. I've been thinking about Copycat. I was, she's just been on the radar. There's a couple of really gross support pieces that you just want to gank from people and stuff like that. And I was like, I was trying to make some Copycat teams. And then it really dawned on me. And this thing that totally came to me like maybe 5 days before 2 clicks from KO, where Obi-Wan Chris really got it out there. But I realized that Copycat can take the Quinjet, and the Quinjet was like the hot new crazy thing that Easton Brock came up with, and I was really like, oh yeah, dude, because you can totally gank the Quinjet, and that Quinjet resource has to be on the Quinjet. So normally when Copycat takes something, the resource stays with the original owner, but this time you get the Quinjet, and that team really based on is you clicking that dial up early on. So if you can deny them a couple of turns, of not getting that. Clicking that dial, that can really swing the game in your favor. So like that really solidified me on playing Copycat and playing this team. But this was a spy themed team with Copycat, Fandomex, Atomica the Pog, a full power plant, a shield level 7 ID, and a Thor ID. I was planning on using that 100-point Thor from AVX and just like running shot pulse wave for 4 damage. Hopefully near the end of people's dials, so I can finish off like a zombie or whatever like that. And of course, I'd call in Nick Fury with the delete shield level 7. Okay. I really like the team, but like, I just worry that if I can't Copycat something really dangerous, I'm sitting there with a wasted 90 points. But what do you think of that team, Luke?
Yeah, I mean. You know my particular feelings about Copycat full well. Every time you bring her up, I'm like saying she's good to build around. It's not she's good to build in consideration, not something that you should build around. Just because there's so many ways to play around that. I mean, for example, let's say they decide to steal something. If you win that roll, you could just like park her on some orange terrain where she just gets damaged over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you're going to get the points for that if you have copycat. Or, you know, there's a tried regeneration construct and stuff. I don't know. I just don't think she's worth that 90 points to be a hindrance. Now maybe she'll get you through, I don't know, the bottom tier of competitive players, but with the top half, they can play around and play through it. So for 90 points, they'll build a more balanced team.
Yeah, and that's one reason I left her off. I mean, I did like the fact that if you're playing the Quinjet, you're tied into that Quinjet resource, so you're not going to have the battery nurse construct, so you can't like first turn bust the copycat's power off. So yeah, that was something I was thinking about, and I discarded it for the same reason. Like you said, that if there ain't nothing I can steal, if there's not a Prime Hawk, if there's not a Quinjet, and I'm like, what am I going to steal an Atomica? You know, what am I? It's not that you know good.
I mean, it has its matchups. It definitely had like nothing is more satisfying than stealing someone's Banshee, or you know, stealing someone's is it 90 points or less? Oh no, 100 points or less.
That's 100 points or less.
Yeah, or stealing someone's freaking Starfire. Like, there's nothing more satisfying than doing that. But you know, as it still stands, you're giving up, you know, 90 points to just hoping for that shot to do something disruptive. It was still a good team, though.
Yeah.
And I guess, I mean, I'll tie this into a team that I considered. It was a pretty far out there team too. It was a Silver Samurai from Wolverine and the X-Men. And it had to do with a orange battery with President Lex Luthor and some constructs and blind out. It was way back, but basically Silver Samurai. I don't know how many people have read his card, but he has this one wicked trait where he gets to use phasing teleport once per game as a free action. So the name of the game was to pretty much, and he starts with a 12 attack. You know, he only does 2 damage, but there are ways to work around that. So you could easily get him to like a 15 attack, 5 damage, maxing out for that early pulse wave if you pair him with Ophidian and throw an orange battery on him. And you know, like, yeah, sure, he lacked willpower and like real move and attack, but I mean, that's such a cool way to like grab a piece that kind of looked, I don't know, meh, and just like throw him out there and be like, eat this 15 attack pulse wave because it's not gonna miss.
Yeah, and then 6 damage. I think you were able to get his damage up to. That's enough to take out a Nick Fury. You know, that's enough to.
Yeah, it would be.
Hulk's got that stop click, but
it would be 5 damage plus the knockback, so 6. So yeah, that was pretty cool. But I mean, you know, after. All right, so since I've been in Houston, I've been having a lot more time to like chat with like to Paris Gordon, world champ and stuff. And, you know, after chatting with him, I realized a lot of my teams are they're good. They're like one-trick wonders. And for the majority, I would say 70% of teams that are built, I could probably destroy them. But for the 30% where I'm going against the Patricks, the Brocks, the Parises, I'm probably not going to do as well. And I guess that's where I'm trying to get. So that's why I discarded the Silver Sam team, even though Silver Samurai was cool. I guess I could say another reason why I discarded him because they completely butchered him in the Wolverine. That movie. Yeah. So beyond the HeroClix reasons, I think it was the movie that made me drop him. All right, next team.
Did you see the movie recently or what? I mean, that's an old movie.
I watched it before and then I saw it again. It was like recently. I was like, man, they really butchered Silver Samurai. So I just like, nope, wipe the team. Not gonna bring back memories.
So this is the next team I've mine and built. It was inspired by a conversation I had with you, and then listening to the HeroClix podcast. Was it 3-4 weeks ago? Like I've been ever since they announced that Wolverine the X-Men was not going to rotate out. I just been like looking at those pieces even more because like I had given them up for dead. You know, I figured for sure there's like no way they're going to give them three years of play. But so I've been looking at it again, and I've been really having a lot of fun playing with Shatterstar. If you got to see my report on my should have been my Poison Greed team, which didn't go anywhere because I forgot Shatterstar at home. But I've been looking at him a lot, and I've been talking with Luke about him a lot. And like, was it like one day you just texted me, it's like, hey, can Shatterstar port over a vehicle? You said the Hawkeye's car, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, because like on HeroClix they're talking about the space rig, and I was like, that's 25 points. And they were also talking about Iron Nail, and they're talking about using the space rig, you know, to get Iron Nail across the board. And I was like, wait a minute, you know, I can put the Iron Nail in the space rig and then port over the space rig. And then if I wait a turn to do it, you know, if I put Iron Nail in the space rig, and then wait a turn, then next turn port over the space rig, I can free action pop him out, and then he's right there minusing all their dudes.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna run Iron Nail with Proselyte, Possessed by Proselyte, and then with the Purple Lantern Battery, or Indigo Tribe Battery, I guess is the technical term for it, with the stop sign on Iron Nail, so he's even jerkier to get away from, and then the net on Shatterstar. So if Shatterstar survives, he can like still tie people up and keep them close by Iron Nail. And just hopefully, I've played against an Iron Nail, and he just like, if you can't get away, he just reduces you like that.
Yeah.
But
that's crazy. Yeah, that Iron Nail. I mean, I haven't played against him personally, but his trait is just too damn awesome. But for half of your, I guess more than half your points in the modern 300 points team, you have to kind of do a lot to get him like smack dab right in front of your opponents.
Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, like, we already know that we're gonna be seeing a lot of copycats because they were there to deal with Prime Hawk. And if they gank my Shatterstar, that's my gimmick. And I could totally get Iron Nail down the field with the space rig. Not too much of a problem. And probably in one piece. That was my gimmick. That was like my one, like, oh, surprise, but kind of thing. But it's a one-trick pony, like you said, and that's one of the reasons I was considering getting rid of it, or one of the reasons I did get rid of it.
I wouldn't scrap it on like with the way they're doing things now with the whole 400 point limited and the new rock rolls. I just thought of something pretty cool. So you do Shatterstar, you do the space rig, you do Iron Nail, and you do a Batmite. And so what you do is you port over with Shatterstar, and you leave the space rig with Iron Nail, and you pull back Shatterstar with Batmite. And then they have to deal with a ticking time bomb because Iron Nail is just gonna wreck face once that vehicle goes down. I don't know. I thought that was I like the idea of sending people in to die, but they're gonna cause some mayhem.
Yeah. Like beastly dudes that are impossible to hit, like Nightcrawler or I like that Murmur or that Thorn. They're really cheap figures that if you can get them tying people up because they got the shape change. Murmur's immune to poison, so they couldn't like try to poison him off his combat reflexes and stuff like that. And Thorn's got that super shape change where if she hits, she heals. There's some neat stuff. People that just take a lot to take down.
Yeah, like So wait, so that's your second team. I mean, oh crap! That means I need to come up with my second team. I've been looking through the chat. Well, okay. Honorable mention team. So I was looking through like past rocks, and I looked at and I had just brought up Batmite. Batmite, and I looked up Easton Brock's old team. Batmite, Jocasta possessed. Spiral possessed with Jocasta with the Justin Seifert. And I guess I didn't really take a long look at it, but it just kind of clicked at how well that worked. I mean, oh, and it was a power plant resource. You basically sent Spiral out, and she would hit for her 11 or 12 attack or whatever, and then she would pulse wave, and then you can call her back with Batmite. And I was like, man, that is a really cool thing. And then I was like, well, what if you do like Phoenix Force or something? And then, you know, now you have a running shot pulse wave with +1 damage. But, you know, I kind of disregarded it at the very end because I couldn't find any way to bump her past that 11 attack. And especially with the meta, everyone has this scoring like a 21, 22. So I was like, no, I guess Ethan Brock pretty much had a good team first things going. He's the, that's why they call him the innovator. Any other honorable mentions you remember?
Oh, this is not an honorable mention. Because I'm still like fully considering running this, but I was totally going to run my Jenny Sparks Tomar 2 team, which is like Jenny Sparks possessed by Tomar 2, possessed by Ion and Tomar 2 with the wall, and you know that's a Green Lantern theme team. But instead of running the Green Lantern battery like I ran in the video of me and Luke's practice rock, I was going to use the Orange Lantern battery. So you know, if I ran into, this was before like Nick Fury, before we realized that Nick Fury was a glass cannon when he was just threatening everything. So like I was going to, you know, first turn pop a spotlight on them, and then next turn just take away all the improved targeting, and hopefully sneak my way up the pulse wave. But then people started realizing that Nick Fury on the table is gross, but is But Nick Fury with the level 7 ID card and on-demand Nick Fury is even better. So yeah, that thing's like $20 on eBay now. That's ridiculous. If you find one.
Oh yeah, I bought. So funny story. So Matt had just posted, oh, did you see all the teams that had Nick Fury, Indigo Battery, and Wanna Rock? So before I even replied to him, I just went to eBay. I was like, oh, look, Nick Fury for like $15. Buy. And I was like, yeah, I just bought one because I know that thing is going to take off in price. And then after that,
it was like $45 looking for a Nick Fury.
Jeez. And then after that, I bought like right after, like 30 minutes right out there, I was like, I'm gonna buy a Shield level 7 ID card, and I got it for like $12. And then Matt's like, well, now they're like 25.
I only got my level 7 because you told me it was like check eBay right now, it's there, and I got mine. So like I owe my level 7 to you.
Everyone and their grandmother wants it now because they like it's just so good. Like you, even if you're not bringing in Balls of Fury, you can bring in Peggy Carter or Hulk. You know, bringing in a 60-point Peggy Carter so that she can just take away a standard power and like laugh at you.
Yep. Like you can't hit me. I'm Haley Atwell.
No, that's a terrible scope for Haley Atwell. They took like a Cammy or something and they just added more hair to her.
Yeah. Well, I guess she exists in the comic book. I'm not familiar. Like, I never pay attention to the Captain America mythos. I'm not familiar if she was a real character or not, or if she was in it for the movies.
I lost track after like he died, came back, was a Skrull and wasn't a Skrull and was lost in time. I don't know, like the whole Batman wasn't dead, not really thing. It just kind of threw me off. Like you remember that whole arc where like it was like Battle for the Cowl and like Batman's, you know, grave, and it's like, oh, Batman's not really dead. Oh, spoiler, I guess, for a comic book that's been a comic issue that's been out for like 5-6 years or any longer. Anyways, Batman, Battle for the Cowl, Batman gets shot, and they think he's dead. Turns out he's like displaced in time fighting dinosaurs or something. I can't make this shit up.
No, you can't. You can't. That's actually exactly what happened. I just have to give props to the Battle for the Cowl because it made me finally like Damian Wayne. Like I always thought he was just a whiny, like, oh, look at me, I'm the emo cutting bladey swordy person, Robin. And no, the interplay between Dick Grayson as Batman, as the jokey Batman, and then the serious Robin, I thought was fantastic. So thanks, Battle for the Cowl and all that.
I didn't like. I don't know. I guess when I was a kid, Tim Drake was a fan favorite of mine. But when I read Battle for the Cowl, his character was turned off for me. I didn't like him. I liked Jason Todd more than I liked Tim Drake.
Oh, blasphemy!
Yeah, exactly. But all right. So if you're not following, so in Captain America: Civil War, the whole thing, he ends up getting shot by what's his face?
Bullseye?
Was it Bullseye? Yeah, so Bullseye, and then like everyone thinks he's dead, and it turns out it wasn't him. It was a scroll or something, and he was actually lost. And jeez. But yeah, that happened. I guess since you brought up Nick Fury attacking me, I want to bring him on the board. I guess this is as good as time as ever to reveal or to talk in depth about the team that won me $300. Is that okay?
Let's do this.
All right. So it was a tournament at Swords and Superheroes, Spring, Texas. This is a free advertisement for them because it's a cool place hosted by a guy named Mike, and he's really cool. They have a lot of neat old stuff. They host crazy $1,000 tournaments from time to time. Anyways, it was no tactics, 300 points. And I kind of jumped ahead. I was like, oh, all right, it's no tactics. What are people going to run no tactics wise? Zombie Super Scroll, Kyle Rayner, a lot of Nick Fury. You know, I guess some people would run in a one-man army. Oh, and Faust was allowed. So I knew that was coming too. So I was like, all right. I had just tried this team at a Rock Winner map. It didn't do too well. It was a Hellspawn, Catwoman, Deathcaptor team. I was like, oh, I'm going to do the other thing I tried with it. I'm going to run it with 2 Ultron 8 drones. These Ultron 8 drones are wonderful, wonderful pieces. They're 30 points, but they're considered 120. And the nifty thing about that is, since they're considered 120, you can use them to bring in characters with ID cards up to 120 points. So that 30-point character can bring in Nick Fury. So with Hellspawn, I had a Hellspawn, Blind Owl, 2 Ultron 8 drones, a Henry from the Shield Task Forces set, and 2 ID cards. I had Hulk. I had the Hulk ID card, and I had the Shield level 7, which I borrowed because I didn't have it yet. And so I would set it up on the map, basically my own personal little kill box. Nick Fury would be shooting, because he would generally be shooting the highest pointed character. He'd have 2 perplexes on him with a Henry enhancement, so he's always shooting for 6 damage with his 13 attack. And since you make sure that he's adjacent to the Ultron drone that didn't bring him in, the Ultron drone gets +1 attack for a ranged combat attack, gets +1 damage from the Henry. So you're shooting with an 11-4 Ultron drone now with a probability control to boot. And then you can also take away something annoying. So right off the bat, like turn 2, I was pretty much stealing things and doing 10 damage. And you know, it also it was really, really, I felt bad for a lot of the teams. So the team did okay. Like I went 2-2, so I eked my way into 8th. And so I went against first place, and he ran Kyle Rayner with Coriander, which is not a bad team by any other means. That is a solid team day in, day out. You could win a tournament easily. And he went 4-0, and here I was with this dumpy Hellspawn team, and I did my odds. I told him up front I was gonna take Kyle Rayner, I was gonna blast him to hell with an Ultron, get him to a stop click, and then kill him with Nick Fury. And all of this righted on him not landing his 33% super senses roll, because I had Nick Fury take away the shape change because he switched to decoy. And the gamble paid off. I destroyed Kyle Rayner, and that put me up 206 points. And 186 points. And once that happened, it was just kind of like I was just chasing Coriander, and I finished her off, and that got me to the final 4. And then
So
when I got
Hellspawn was able to hold his own against Coriander. That's pretty cool.
well, he didn't really try to take on. Well, he didn't try to take on Hellspawn. He just kind of ran. Yeah, and I mean it kind of makes sense because Precision Strike doesn't get through shape change, and he had that trait of shape change where he can heal, and he also has her. So you look at Coriander, she's like she'll get through the first 2 clicks, but you know Hellspawn is like 9 clicks long, so you need a lot of hits.
I just figured if anybody could possibly meet Hellspawn, it'd be Coriander. She's got the damage.
Oh
and
crap! Hold on.
Oh, okay. Well, we're totally going to pause and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm going to check my eBay auctions to see what's going on. Got my eye on a couple of things. You know, last minute stuff that you might need for rock stuff. I guess let me tell you about a team that I was thinking of. You know, this was back when Nick Fury on the board was the hot stuff. But like this was something I thought about. It was 2 Corianders. It was Cerise. So that's 3. You know, 3 characters with the warrior keyword. It's a warrior theme team, which opens up ATA. Well, the Red Hood and the Outlaw ATA says that the highest point character on your opponent's side can't draw lines of fire to anybody using this ATA, which I thought was super awesome, you know, because Nick Fury was typically the highest point character of those builds. And, you know, I throw that protection on Coriander. He can't shoot them. And he gets no bonus from blasting up Cerise, so it's like straight 3 damage to Cerise. And she can kind of take that. You know, I thought that was kind of cool. And then, you know, then people started developing the whole Nick Fury level 7 ID card tech. So they kind of went to heck, you know. But it was a fun idea while I had it. I was running that and power battery at like all but 1 ring. Yeah, because 12 points or 6 points each for the ATA. But yeah, I'm not the biggest Red Hood fan. I already just kind of established he's my least favorite Robin, my least favorite canon Robin. But that ATA is great, and it really just bums me out that it really bums me out that. Sorry, Luke just sent me a message. It really bums me out that that you just can't play Red Hood and the Outlaws. It's just the point values just don't add up. There's no way to do it. I think the closest I got able to play Red Hood on the Outlaws was like the old core, the Starfire from the Teen Titans team pack, the semi-good Arsenal from Teen Titans, and then both Red Hoods, and then I had to use, I want to say, the ATA and like an Infinity Gauntlet to finish it up to get near 500 points. It was ridiculous. It's like, why do you hate me, WizKids? Why can't you make your point values that add up right? You know? I had originally thought about, you know, Coriander and the new Red Arrow, because he's also got the Outlaw keyword. And I played him with a martial arts team, and I liked him a lot. But Luke was like, that's bad. That's a really bad team. And he's right. It's really a bad team. Because I'd be super underbuilt, even like going like not so crazy with resource points. And I was totally thinking, you know, that even maxing out a battery, which I believe is like 65 points. I was still terribly underbuilt, and it was just a dumb idea for some protection from somebody that turns out it's not going to be showing up. It looks like we lost Luke for forever, but we did get what we wanted to talk about. We wanted to get 2 teams each, and what we were thinking about, and the ideas behind the teams, and you know, just ideas that, you know, like go percolate through your head and stuff like that. You know, like, well, there's some clear mistakes there, like And you're like, well, what if he swaps this for this or this or that, you know? And then you start making these sick teams and stuff like that. Not that my teams are any sick, but like you start making some neat teams and stuff like that. Thank you for watching. Please like us on Facebook, Heroic Tactics, this little face thing. It's got this really awesome, the picture is really awesome art of the real Red Hood, the Joker as Red Hood, mod by Oren, who's one of our local players who mods stuff pretty good. Follow us on Twitter, Heroic Tactics as well. And thank you for watching. You'll have a kick-ass evening.